Welcome back to the Bils Podcast.
Here.
Another episode of the Bils Podcast.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's episode 20.
It is episode 20.
Yeah.
Not
including the
two that are on
two
Patreon.
that are on Patreon.
But if you guys aren't subscribed to the Patreon, then this is episode 20 for you.
Yep.
If you're also not subscribed to the Patreon, go subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah. No, the episodes, I don't know what it is about the Patreon ones, but I just feel like they're just different. Like
They've both been good.
They've both been excellent.
You know what it is we know that there's like going to be nobody listening to them.
I think that probably has something to do with it.
Plus, it's more like, I don't know, I feel more relaxed when we record those for the Patreon.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Jinx. Give me Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's 4 of them. Yeah, no, I don't know, because before we recorded the last one, I did the ice bath as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping maybe that's just what it is.
Maybe it's the ice bath.
Yeah, because, I'm freaking wide awake, and now I'm drinking coffee on top of that, so.
Yeah. You know what we didn't do this morning, though? As I saw the countdown going down, I was like, we didn't do like a little pre-podcast conversation.
Well, we've been here for an
hour.
Yeah, we've been talking about shit, so.
Yeah. Usually we'll get in here and we'll have a little scuffle and we'll argue for 15 to 20 minutes about a topic. And then we're like, all right, we're pretty warmed up. Let's go.
Yeah, no, maybe it'll be better this way because maybe we actually will argue about it on the podcast. Because I feel like we agree a little bit too much on here. And that's just not us.
I don't know. I've heard otherwise. I've heard people text me. I've had people text me like, dude, I love when you guys argue. It's so funny. Like,
oh, yeah. Maybe then we should just do more of it. So.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll start out with, if you haven't, go check out our Patreon. In order to check out our Patreon, you have to subscribe. It's $5 a month for 4 bonus episodes and whatever we decide to do live. It's all on Patreon. So
yeah.
Plus the last 2 episodes that we put out on there are actually like really, really good. So those episodes will not be anywhere else, just on Patreon. KJ also asked me, he's like, hey, are you guys' Spotify and YouTube episodes on Patreon? No, they will not be on Patreon. Patreon is strictly going to be just Patreon. It's just easier that way. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of uploading if we're doing that. Plus, we already have multiple websites that we have to upload on, so that shit already takes me multiple hours out of my day to try and do that on top of editing and all that. So
yeah,
like I said, a few weeks ago, if anybody wants to do all this shit for free, ring my line, please.
Yeah.
We have some crazy shit that happened this week in the sports world.
In the sports world, yeah. The sports world was wild this last week.
Do you want to open with your story, though? You wouldn't even tell me off the podcast. I think you wanted me to react to it.
I wanted you to react to it. So, hunting this weekend was decent. It wasn't the greatest weekend. Yesterday was really good. Yesterday was super fun. It was me, Johnny, and Sam. We shot almost a 3-man. We shot like garbage. It was like 8:45, and I was already making a shell run back to the truck. And you know what's funny is first thing in the morning, like we're getting out of the truck and Johnny's loading his shells up in his box. He has 4 in his hand, and the last 4 out of his box, and he looks at me and Sam and goes, I'm not going to need these. By 8:45, I was running back to the truck so we could all get shells for all of us. It was brutal. God. And then we shot through all of those shells. Yeah, it was.
And you weren't going again.
No, I wasn't.
So that's why you guys didn't hit the 2-man limit.
Yeah, me and Johnny would have shot. We shot 10 between the 2 of us. He shot 6, I shot 4. He's been shooting a lot better than I have this year. I've only got 6 more birds than him, and I hunt Wednesdays and he doesn't. Mm-hmm. So, granted, my Wednesdays haven't really been the greatest this year. It's mainly just been the hunts that I've been with Johnny have been the absolute bangers. But Saturday, we had crazy winds on Saturday. So there was a little bit of rain too, which made things kind of weird. The rain always does. The birds act funky in the rain. But right off the bat, first thing in the morning, we have a pair just hook up, and I killed the drake at like 5 yards. And I was like, sick. This is going to be an awesome day. Then we have a 4-pack of specs come in. I turn the blades off and start talking to them, spin them around 3 or 4 times, and we killed 2 out of the 4 at like 25 yards. And I was like, sick, let's go. Like, this is going to be an awesome day. From then, it just got rough. Like, the birds just started acting super funky. Like, they literally dropped from like 200 to 300 yards and dropped to like 80 or 90, 70, between 70 and 90 yards. And then they'd spin once and then just get out of there. I was like, what is happening right now? So in the morning, we killed 2 specks and 3 ducks. We went in, got lunch, and came back out, tried to decide what to do. Picked where we were going to go, went back out. I just set up, we just got finished setting up. I was setting up the last blade, and I look up, and there's a pair just crushing. And I'm like, Johnny, because he's in the toolie pouch, like, with his gun and everything. So, like, I just kind of tuck down. Johnny starts getting on the calls. I didn't have mine on me at the time. Gets on the calls, spins them around a couple of times, but they had seen me in the decoys, so they picked up and took off. We get back in. We killed, I think, a bird or 2. Then we're both sitting there not paying attention, which just happened to us in the morning, too. We were caught sleeping. We had a 5-pack come in, pair off the left, 3-pack on the right, and just busted us big time in the morning. Just neither one of us paying attention, and those got out. Well, I'm sitting in the toolies, and I hear, and I'm like, holy crap! It's like, what the freak? So I look up. There's a pair of mallards hooked up at like 15 yards, just feet out, wings tucked, touching their tummies, like coming down. Well, I look up, and they see me. Look up at them. Couldn't grab my gun in time, and I'm like 95% sure the Drake had a band on its leg.
Oh.
Yeah. They threw their feet out, and I could see clear as day there was something on his leg. 95% sure. 95% of the time, if there's something on a leg like that, it's a band. Sometimes there'll be a feather, but like if they're in flight, there's not going to be a feather that's stuck to their leg. So I'm like 95% sure it was a band. If you don't know, me and Johnny have both been hunting for 26 now, so I'm on like season 17 or 18. I've never shot a band.
Damn.
So to see that was devastating. Tyler told me, he's
you
like,
said this was supposed to be a sad story.
This is a sad story.
This is a sad story. This is the sad story.
This is the sad story.
I thought you were talking about like your way home.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But yeah, I was talking to Tyler, and Tyler's like, he's like, at least you didn't shoot at it, because he's like, if you shot at it and missed, you'd be even more devastated. Like, knowing that like you had the chance. I froze, dude, because they were at 15 yards. Like, I could have grabbed my gun and shot, but I was just like in awe, like frozen, like holy crap, and just didn't reach for my gun, nothing. Just sat there and watched. Devastated. We ended up shooting 4 in the afternoon, but we messed up a couple. We had some ding dong sneak in on us in the afternoon and bust a pair on us. Like, just Saturday was rough. I told my brother, we were talking about it, and we were like, you know what? If this is a rough day, though, like, so be it. We killed 7 ducks and 2 geese. If that's a rough day, I'm fine with it. And then yesterday wasn't a rough day. There was a ton of birds everywhere. Ton of birds in our face. We just shot like garbage, dude.
So that sad story that you just told.
Yes.
If the roles were reversed here, you'd have been like, it was your fault. You should have been paying attention.
On Johnny?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's my exact reaction to you.
Well, I told him, I said neither one of us were paying attention. Like, it's on both of us. Neither one of us. Both times. Because there was a few times we got busted like that on Saturday. And every single time, neither one of us was paying attention.
Get off your phone.
Bro, I wasn't even on my phone. That's the thing. I don't know. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was not on my phone. Like, I was either looking the wrong way, like paying attention, just not looking in the right direction, or like digging around in my backpack for something, like just not paying attention, zoned out, like whatever it may be. But Johnny's sitting here playing Squad Busters and Pokemon. Like, he's like, that's it. I'm off my phone for the rest of the day. Like, yeah. Then, like I said, Sunday, dude, was I mean, it was so fun because like we were doing a lot of shooting. We still killed 15 birds. Like we had a really good time. Um, but man, just shot like garbage, and it was so funny. And then, dude, so Sam's gun, he's shooting like the same shells that me and Johnny have been shooting this year, and he pulls up once, and just you hear poof, like a weird sound come out of his gun, and then you hear the BBs just barely make it out of his barrel and splash down on the water. And he shot a squib load. Well, the first one, the wad made it out. He shot a couple more times and his gun was fine. Then it did it again, and the freaking wad got stuck in his barrel. Yeah, and we were literally getting ready to leave. It was the last bird that he shot at. Oh, excuse me. And the wad gets stuck in his barrel. He has one more shell underneath, but it cycled the shell, but it didn't cycle it properly because the shell came down and then just fell out of his gun. So then we're standing there, and he's trying to get it out. He can't get the wad out. So I told him, I was like, here, let me see it. Like, I'll get it out. So I get the stick in his barrel, and then we're sitting under a tree. So I take the stick because it's sticking out a little bit out of his barrel. Well, on the gun, because he has the same gun that I have, there's a piston underneath inside the where the barrel attaches to like the magazine tube on the shotgun. Well, that piston just falls out. So I take his barrel with the piston in there and hit the stick on the tree that we were sitting under, and I go boom, and you hear the wad come out, and then you hear bloosh. The piston fell out, dude. So Sam just looks at me and he goes, "That was my piston." And I'm like, "Oh no!" Last year I hunted with Sam, the same exact thing happened. He shot a squib load, wad stuck in his barrel, and I dropped his piston in the water, getting the wad out. Which both times I got the wad out as the piston fell in the water. So last year I found it. This year I'm sitting there, and we all roll our sleeves up, hands and knees, just searching. Like where is this thing, dude? I literally put my hands in the water and kept them in the water for like 5 minutes looking, and it was freezing. It was like 36, 37 degrees yesterday morning, so it was cold. The water was freezing. I did end up finding it, luckily. Oh, and Sam's like, "Dude, you're 2 for 2." And I was like, "I know." He's like, 2 times you lost it and 2 times you found it.
Yeah, maybe you should do that when you get out of the pond next time.
Yeah, or next time just take the piston out before I start beating on his gun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we had a fun day yesterday morning though. It was a blast. Like I said, we shot like garbage, but we had a really good time. We were laughing the whole morning. Like it was fun. Plus, it was like big flocks, dude. Like we'd get like 20 to 30 widgeon at a time, and then like the widgeon would be working, and then you get like a 4 or 5 pack of sprig, and then you get like 7 or 8 mallards, and they're all just mixed in with each other, just flying around. Oh, it was nuts yesterday, dude. We crapped the bed big time because we should have been done by like 10 o'clock with a 3-man limit. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun weekend. We still killed a lot of birds. But I told Johnny, I said, we got to pick it up, dude. Even last weekend, I shot like garbage, but we still made it happen both Saturday and Sunday. This weekend, we kind of crapped the bed. We still made it happen, but we crapped the bed big time both days. So with all that being said, we got nothing but bright future ahead of us. I got to go get more shotgun shells too because I'm almost out. I got a box sitting in my truck left.
That shit's expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially the stuff that I like to shoot. And it's not that expensive if I go to like Sportsman's or if I go to Bass Pro, but nobody has it. So I'm like, you freaking kidding me, dude? So I don't know. I think I'm going to go to Bass Pro probably today when we get done here. I'll go to Bass Pro, see what they have. I was also going to ask you, do you want to go on the vet hunt this year?
I don't know. I don't want to pay for my license and all that this year for one hunt. Bro.
That's what I told Joey. I was like,
you know how bad I want to.
Yeah.
But if it turns out that it's only one hunt and I just you spent because the prices went up again. We've talked about that on the podcast.
You'll end up paying like $100.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and that's what I told Joey because I told her, I said, I'm gonna. We were talking about it yesterday and like talking about how season's almost over. Like there's only like 6 weeks left. Mm-hmm. And I told her, I said, I said I'm probably gonna like take out my buddy and his daughter and son on the junior hunt, and then on the vet hunt, like I'm gonna offer my services. Like tell the vet, hey, I'll take you out, put you on some birds. Like I'll bring decoys, I'll call.
Yeah.
You just gotta sit there and shoot. Like just worry about that. I'll do everything else. Especially like, bro, we've been on them this year. Like I have been on them this year, and I mean, I feel like I've been on them, and we've been doing good. And then I talked to Tyler, and Tyler's like, oh yeah, I've killed over 100 mallards this year already. And I'm like, Jesus, bro. Like, me and Johnny are barely touching 50 right now. Like, that dude's been on him big time.
Yeah, but that fool goes out from morning till he finishes Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yesterday I called him, and he didn't hunt yesterday in the morning, and he wasn't going to hunt at all yesterday. But then I called him on my way home, and I was like, dude, it was stupid this morning. He's like, he's like, screw you. And then he looks at his wife and he's like, you see what I'm missing out on, like sitting at home. And then I'm sitting at home and like 6:30 I'm looking on Instagram and I see that he has something on his story, so I clicked on it and he's got a strap of birds hanging in a tree. So I called him and like, what are you doing? I was like, I thought you were hunting today. And he's like, I had to get out of the house. He's like, he told me how this morning went and I had to sneak out. But yeah, he goes out yesterday afternoon and kills 7 mallards in like 30 minutes or in like 2 hours. Just done. Goes out there for a quick little afternoon hunt, done and home.
That's crazy.
But that fool, I was telling Johnny, that fool's taught me about killing mallards. Like, that fool's taught me everything I know about killing mallards. It's insane. And I was talking to Tyler about it because we hunted together Wednesday. That was the first time we've hunted just us two this year. And he's like, dude, like, I hunt with you and I teach you because you learn. Like, you're not just out here with me to steal my spots and like take stuff from me, but you learn. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I don't, like, I can go with you and steal your spots and all that stuff, but if I don't know how to do it once I get in there, it's pointless. Like, I'm going to steal your spot and I'm going to sit here and watch these birds fly over me. And like, there's only a couple spots that are like absolute X's, and it depends on the day when you're in there. Like, I want to learn how to do it the right way. Like, I'm not out here to just take and be greedy.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's why I teach you, is because you learn. Like, I'm not. Like, if you weren't out here to learn and you were just out here to steal my spots and stuff, obviously I wouldn't hunt with you. I was like, oh, trust me, I know. like I know. But Johnny told me last week, he's like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but he's like, dude, you picked one hell of a mentor. I was like, tell me about it, dude. Like, we'd still be shooting spoonies and teal and ringnecks if it weren't for Tyler. But yeah, we've been doing good this year.
Yeah,
it's been a good year. I've killed already this year more birds than I killed last year, in the entire year.
Damn.
And even the year before that. But I've shot like garbage the last couple years. This year I've finally like started to find my shot. We're on the birds more, in better spots. Like, we've had a couple hunts this year that I'm like, dude, this is like hunt of a lifetime type stuff. For some guys, at least.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, No, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say that, like, I regret not doing it this year, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Like, just since I've been off, like, just spending so much time with Kip.
Yeah.
Like, it's been unreal. So,
yeah.
Like, yeah, there's nothing I'd rather do. So,
yeah. And that's why, like, beginning of the year, or beginning of the season, once Hunter was born, like, I did half days. I'd hunt till 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest, and just get home early. And I mean, even then, bro, like, we were still killing birds in the morning. We'd still have good hunts in the morning. But then I was home, like, once they finally woke up and got up, I was home. But at the same time, like, homeboy just slept.
Yeah.
Like, it. Like,
yeah,
right
no,
now.
I was fortunate, like, that he was born in the summer, because by the time it came time for duck season, he's not just sleeping.
Yeah.
So, like, whenever I'm with him, he's, like, laying on his mat, playing with toys.
Yeah.
Like,
that's one thing that, like, I didn't realize until now you saying that. Like, I am kind of excited that we had him during duck season, because those first couple months where, like, he just eats, sleeps, and poops, like, there's not much that I'm really missing out on right now. Like if I'm gone during like hunting and stuff like that, like there's not too much that he's doing that I'm really missing out on. And I'll be home more as he gets older and starts to like all of his firsts come along, like starts crawling and saying words and all that stuff. So I am kind of grateful for that, because had we had him during the summer, like right after duck season, when those first start coming around, like it would be during duck season, and I would be livid if I was missing out on that stuff.
No, yeah, so, I'm looking at Kip right now, like, bro, you got 3 weeks to crawl. Like, because if I'm back at work and I have a freaking out-of-town job or something, and you crawl for the first time, I'm going to be, ooh, we're going to have to fist fight or something.
It'll be the first day you go back to work.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm not looking. I mean, we've talked about that on the podcast before. But like, you better push that baby over if it happens with somebody else.
Give him a nudge. Yeah. Oh man. So I got the news. I think sitting in the duck blind yesterday. That Travis Hunter has won the Heisman Trophy award.
We talked about that on Patreon on Friday.
Yeah. We had like a 45-minute to hour-long discussion about this.
Yeah. I thought that they gave him the best wide receiver and the best DB awards, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah. One's the Blittenkoff or something like that, Blitzenkoff, and I don't know what the other one is. But
yeah, so I thought they gave him both of those, which we literally went through all the stats and everything, and he didn't deserve either of them. But if they were to snub him on those and the Heisman, then it would have been all anyone talked about.
Yeah.
How Travis Hunter should have got one of them.
Yeah.
But the kid from San Jose State was the best wide receiver, and
By
it wasn't even close.
It wasn't close.
And you can make the argument that nobody's throwing the ball at Travis Hunter when he's playing corner.
Yeah.
But he only had 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
And like 11 pass breakups or something like that. I can't remember the stats like directly off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was 11. When we looked at it, it was 11 pass breakups and 4 interceptions, which, like we said too, at that level, bro, you got a 3-star quarterback throwing to 3-star wide receivers, and you've got a Travis Hunter was a 4 or 5-star DB coming into college. I think 4-star.
I don't know. I don't know what level recruit he was, but
elite.
Yeah,
he's elite.
He's elite now for sure.
Which, as a 3-star throwing to a 3-star, obviously you're not going to throw at that guy. Like, but that goes to show, like, if you've got him lined up against a Georgia quarterback and wide receiver, or an Archie Manning and a Texas wide receiver, he's gonna get beat up. Because those guys are big, physical wide receivers.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter.
I don't have very much room over here.
Travis Hunter is not a big physical corner. Like, he's tall and scrawny. So he's got to, like, sit back in coverage and rely on his coverage, which I'm not saying is bad. But, like, he's not going to do what he has done in the lower levels against Alabama guys, Texas guys, Georgia guys. Like,
any kid listening to this podcast, if you run across this on TikTok or whatever, if you want to win the Heisman Award, do not go to Boise State and put up video game numbers. Because you will not win it.
Yeah.
Like, you play half the snaps, and don't get me wrong, I would have been fine. Like, either way, somebody was getting snubbed for it.
Yeah.
Because any other year, like, if Jeanty was doing this next year, which he's not because he's a junior and he's going to go into the draft.
Yeah.
If he was doing this next year, automatic Heisman.
Yeah.
Like, unless a quarterback was putting up, friggin' 6,000 yards and 50 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no.
So, it sucks that for this season, both of these guys are doing something. Because playing corner and wide receiver, it is very impressive.
Yeah.
You're not taking snaps off. Like, he got injured that one game, and he didn't even want to come out, but Coach Prime pulled him. He was like, he sent him on a go route, and he got beat, and he's like, nah, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, just take the day off.
Yeah.
Or he said, you don't look like yourself or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's just, like, he wasn't even, I don't even know if he was top 5 in either position. Like, he might have been, like, he was definitely in top 10, both positions, but.
I think as a corner, he was, like, 6 or 7.
I think he was 6 in corner and 7 in wide receiver.
He was 8th as a wide receiver.
8th? Okay, yeah.
But, like, and he was talking about, I saw a clip, he was on a podcast talking about, a podcast or a sports broadcasting network, something, and Travis Hunter was like, Ashton Jeanty's balling, but, like, what he's doing has been done before. What he's doing has been done before by Barry Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, what he's doing it in half the snaps that anybody has ever done it before, because he's getting pulled at halftime. He's not playing fourth quarters in every game. Like, the dude, he sat multiple games the second half because he's putting up 200 yards in the first half. Like, the dude is nuts. And he's a generational running back. Like, you haven't seen a two-way player like that in college, but
not in a long time.
Not in a long time.
It has been done.
It has been done, but not in a long time. And you're good at both positions. I'd even go as far to say,
I'd probably say he's elite.
Yeah, I'd say you're elite at both positions if you're top 10. But, like, you're not the best.
Yeah.
If you focused on one or the other, you could be the best.
And that's oh my God, what's his name? Go ahead, sorry.
But, like, giving him these awards and robbing the other kids of them just because he's playing 100 snaps a game as a two-way player.
Yeah, there's,
like, make an award for him then.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, like, the wide receiver and DB awards aren't for two-way players.
No.
Like, it's not the best two-way player. It's the best wide receiver and the best DB.
Yeah.
So, like,
and I
you
think
gotta give it to the number one guy.
So I do think we will see more of this two-way stuff coming. If there's some kids coming out that get to that level, I think we will see more two-way players.
Richard Sherman did an interview with him, and he asked him what he's going to play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, I want to play both. He's like, you're not doing it in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's like, but I don't get tired. Well, you're guarding college kids.
Yeah. You're guarding kids that are going to go play backup wide receiver for the Panthers or practice wide receiver for the Browns. Like,
yeah.
You're not guarding DeAndre Hopkins. You're not guarding Devontae Adams. You're not guarding Rashee Rice. Like, you're not guarding CeeDee Lamb. You're not guarding elite guys. Mm-hmm. It is a totally different ballgame when you get to the big leagues.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't take snaps off.
Yeah.
In the NFL. I mean, I don't think you can really in college either, but you can't just, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
And he's not elite at stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
Like, tackling in space and stuff like, he had like 24 tackles or something like that.
It was 20.
I think it was 31 and a half combined, right? Total solo and assisted or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you get half tackles, actually. I think it's just...
Not in college.
Yeah, it's just broken up.
Yeah, they did I think it was like 11 assisted and like 23 or 24 solos.
Something like that. So, I mean, it's not elite numbers, even for a DB.
Yeah, 30-something compared to, like, the number one DB had, like, over 100 total tackles. That's a bright one, dude.
I need to just put an actual freaking background on here instead of the revolving one.
Dude, that's a bright one. But, yeah, he the number one DB had put up, like, over 100 tackles in college football. And it was, like, 50 or 60-something solos and 40 or 50-something assisteds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that plus being able to play as a defensive back and break up passes and get interceptions. Like, I think the guy that led in INTs was, I think it was like 11 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and we talked about like the level of competition and stuff that they're playing against, but Travis Hunter realistically is playing against the same competition that the other guys that are leading in their respective areas are playing.
Yeah.
Like the kid from San Jose State that was number 1 in pretty much every receiving category. How do you snub that kid of the best wide receiver? That's like, to me, that's insane. How that kid does not win that award.
Yeah, he was number 1 in pretty much
all receiving categories.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. And like he's not the best wide receiver in college football in the draft. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, if you're gonna draft somebody and you think he can play both ways, then sure, draft him in the first five picks.
Yeah.
But I don't know where Ashton Jeanty gets drafted either. And here's another thing too, like, yeah, I said that joke earlier, like, don't go to Boise State if you want to win the Heisman.
Yeah.
They're third.
Yeah.
They're the third-ranked team in college football.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, which
like Boise
neither
State.
of us really agreed with it
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
If you really value strength of schedule and you're not, now especially after not giving him the Heisman because he didn't play anybody, how is Boise third then?
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
With a loss, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oregon's
one loss to
the
Oregon.
only. Yeah. Oregon's the only team that beat them, which they're the number 1 ranked team.
Yeah.
But like, that makes zero sense. If you're not gonna give him the Heisman, just because he went to Boise,
which that's another thing. Like, he's at Colorado State or
Colorado.
He's at Travis Hunter's at Colorado. Like, who do they play? And not only that, but if he's winning the Heisman and he's the number 1 wide receiver and the number 1 corner, how are they, 6 or
7-5 or
7-4 or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, how do they, like, you've got the Heisman, the best wide receiver and the best running back or the best corner on your team, and you've lost 4 or 5 games.
And they're saying Shador's a top 10 pick as well.
Yeah.
And should have been in the Heisman
race. Yeah. Like, if you've got 2 Heisman contenders on your team, you're going to be a lot better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'd love to see, like, all the teams that they lost to as well. I don't know if we actually, like, went through. We did go through their record last week. But
yeah, but I don't know if we looked at, like, who they played.
I got you. Yeah, and I was kind of disagreeing with you a little bit. Like, Travis Hunter deserves one of them.
Yeah.
But to give him all 3.
Yeah.
Like, and then, now I'm just like, it's not fair.
Yeah. No, then you go back and look at, like, his stats and everything, and you realize, like, where he actually ranked among respective players in that, like, position. You look at it and you're like, he really shouldn't have won any of those awards.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like, it should have been one of those things where, like, make a different award for him. Make a best 2-way player award and give it to him. And then let kids start playing 2 ways in college if they want to.
So they lost to Nebraska in Dylan Raiola's second ever game. They lost 28-10.
Which Nebraska was not good.
They weren't. They started off the season like 4-0, and then they finished, I think they were below 500 at the end of the season. Yeah. Then they went on a 3-game streak where probably the best team that they played was Baylor.
Colorado, which Baylor's been garbage.
Colorado State, Baylor, and UCF. And then the first ranked team that they played against was Kansas State, and they lost 31-28. So not bad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Colorado was ranked at that time as well.
I think so.
And then they beat Arizona, beat Cincinnati, beat Texas Tech, beat Utah, lost to Kansas, and then beat Oklahoma State 52-0. which I think he actually balled out in that game.
Yeah.
And that was the final game of his Colorado career.
Yeah.
So
how many games did they lose? 3?
Yeah, so they have 3 losses. Which only one of them was to a ranked team. So
yeah. Yeah, and like were there wins, like big wins?
31-26 against North Dakota State, so that's not good.
Yeah.
28-9 against Colorado State. That's a rivalry game, so you know the other team's showing up. So
yeah.
Then they only won by a touchdown against Baylor, 38-31. UCF, 48-21. Arizona, 24-7. Cincinnati, 34-23. So they only didn't allow 10 points at least 3 times this season. 4 times, including Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And then in those games, they gave up 10 points only once, and then everything else was above 20.
Yeah.
So they were in shootouts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you think about that, there's only 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
Having over 1,000 receiving yards is pretty impressive, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
So I mean, he had like 1,100 and something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we're not saying that he's not good.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking anything away from Travis Hunter. I'm not saying he's not an elite player.
And it's not like he voted for himself.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
he didn't give it to himself.
I saw a lot of things that, like, was saying Travis Hunter is the media's Heisman and Ashton Jeanty is the people's Heisman.
Well, he won the fan vote by a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get how. I don't know. It sucks. Like, Ashton Jeanty got robbed, and I feel like the kid from San Jose State got robbed.
I'd hate to play Boise in that second round after their bye week.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the ball freaking 40 times,
50 carries for like 400 yards.
Yeah,
that's gonna be. They're gonna come with some vengeance. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So even though, like we said, like they probably don't deserve that first round bye, and they probably shouldn't be ranked number 3. Like maybe that was a setup in them trying to make up for Jeanty not gonna win that. Like they knew Jeanty wasn't gonna win the Heisman, and like they set it up so they can get Jeanty's gonna come out with some.
And the reason I don't think they should have got a bye is because Texas lost to 2-ranked Georgia in the championship game.
And Penn State lost to 1-ranked Oregon.
Yeah, and both of those teams don't have a bye week.
Yeah.
Because they lost to the best team in their conference.
Which I get not giving them a bye. I get like dropping them to 4 or 5 and 6. Like I get putting them at 5 and 6. But is Boise the team that you move to 3?
Yeah.
There's a couple other teams in there that I'm like, I'd move them up. But then you got to think like Ohio State.
Ohio State's 9 with 2 losses.
Yeah, and they just lost to Oregon, and they lost to an unranked Michigan team. So I get that. Like, I don't know. It'll be funky, but
I'm genuinely excited. All the games are Saturday. Well, I don't think all of them are Saturday, but
but they start on Saturday.
Yeah, and there's honestly some decent matchups that I'm like excited about.
Mm-hmm.
But then round 2 is where it gets like
down to your final 8.
Yeah, and you're like, like anybody could win that.
Yeah.
Especially on Oregon's side of things. Like I don't know
That'd be crazy for Oregon to lose in their first game.
In round 2.
Yeah, in round 2.
Yeah, because I don't even remember exactly who they play, but. Also, I'd like to see what happens with Carson Beck because he got injured in that championship game against Texas.
Oh, yeah, the Georgia quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to be ready to go, but getting that bye week, getting that win was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing serious. I haven't looked
They're number
into
4 now,
it.
right? Georgia? Or are they number 2?
They're number 2.
Okay, they're number 2. So, yeah, they get the bye week, which is good, like you said, for Carson Beck. Gets that extra week to rest. And then even if even if he does have to sit a week or two, like if their number 2 quarterback can come in and win that second round, and like
I think so. He played decent whenever he came in. Again, I don't know why I don't have his first name written down, but his last name's Stockton.
Yeah, I was gonna say something Stockton.
I don't know if he's good or if just the emotion of him coming in for one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and the fans just were losing their minds for him.
Yeah.
Like every single thing that he did, that like the crowd was going crazy. And that's why, like, I can't believe that it took me, however many years that I've been here that I haven't like paid attention to college football, like just the fans.
Yeah.
Like being a soccer fan, like you would think that college football would speak to me a different way. Like the NFL, the Eagles have 2 losses on the season and they're getting booed at home.
No, college fans are like the best fans in the world for sure. Like, have you seen the Pat McAfee like pregame stuff where kids are showing up at 4:00 in the morning?
Yeah, trying to kick a field goal.
Exactly. Like college football fans are the best fans in the world. Whether it's football or basketball, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Because like the basketball games too, you see like if you watch like March Madness stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
and that's when
insane.
I get into college basketball.
Yeah, but the fans make all the difference in the world in those games. Like no matter what sport it is in college, because even like college softball and stuff, like women's softball in college, there's fans for those games. Like college sports fans are a different breed.
Yeah. And it's like just the student sections and stuff. Like, it's wild, and I genuinely have been enjoying it this year.
Yeah.
The problem is I get all Sunday, so Saturday is when my wife plans everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I am genuinely excited about the college playoffs. I'm picking Georgia. I want to see Georgia do it.
Yeah.
But don't think for a second that I won't be rooting on Boise now. Cause,
Yeah. I'd love to see one of those underdogs come in and win it. Like, I doubt SMU is going to do it.
Yeah.
I doubt Clemson's going to do it. Like, Boise's really the only, like, big underdog, which they're number 3. They're number 3. Do you think that as a number 3, they're going to come in as a favorite in their first game?
No. Because I think their first game would be against Penn State.
Because, Penn State plays SMU, right? Yeah, which I think Penn State's just going to dog walk SMU. They got beat by Clemson in their
and they had a
conference
one-score game against Oregon.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, man. I think Boise versus Penn State's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be better than what people think it's going to be. Because, like, even Oregon versus Boise State, they lost by a field goal.
Yeah.
So, who knows, dude? It's going to be fun, though. It's going to be fun. It's going to be it's totally different than what it has been because it's like an actual playoff system. So, it'll be fun to watch. We get an extra 3 or 4 weeks of football now.
And every fan called it, though, that as soon as they moved it to 4 teams, 2 playoff games, that eventually then the next ones would feel like they're getting snubbed out of it. Like, it's all politics. It's all about money. So they move it to 12 teams. So we'll see. 12? Yeah, 12 teams. So we'll see how it turns out. Yeah. And I hope it doesn't turn out to be like by, the 3rd round we're seeing like all these players are just dead on their feet. And like, because, I mean, like we all know playoff games are different.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you see it in the NFL all the time. Like, teams in cruise control, and then playoffs come around, and by round 2, if you don't have a bye in the first round, you're dead on your feet. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. I think the kids that are playing, I actually think they're gonna have a lot more drive because they know they got a few more games left that they normally don't get.
Especially seniors and
yeah. I think we'll see some kids ball out that haven't really had the best chances this year. I think we'll see some different kids ball out, and it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, so we talked about it on Friday, but the 49ers are not going to cut Devondre Campbell.
I saw something saying otherwise.
They're not.
They're not cutting him?
No, so they announced it over the weekend that they were not going to cut him because they didn't want to reward him by cutting him and letting him get picked up by somebody else. So
Make him sit there on the bench.
No, they're suspending him. They just announced it this morning at like 9 o'clock this morning that they're suspending him for the rest of the season so he doesn't get paid.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm. And I think that them doing that, because we had this story literally the day it broke.
Yeah.
So or the day after the game. And the way all the players were talking about it is like they didn't know that if he had anything going on off the field. But, I mean, we broke down everything that everyone's been dealing with this season for the 49ers.
Yeah.
And they're still playing football.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that we didn't just, hot take it, and then all of a sudden it comes out that, his grandma died, or, you know, like somebody close to him died, or I think I said something about, like, we don't know if his wife was cheating on him or something like that.
Yeah.
Like anything happening, and nothing has come out, and now they're going to suspend him for the rest of the season. So he doesn't get paid, which I like it.
I think that's a smart move by the Niners. Like, if you really want to punish this guy, you can't play football, you're not going to get paid, and you're not going to get to go anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to have your brother's back.
Yeah.
And like you weren't even the first option in the offseason to get picked up.
Yeah.
Like, they went for somebody else, they didn't get him, and because the other guy knew, he went to the Cowboys. Somebody you guys picked, linebacker you guys picked up. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. But yeah, he wasn't even the first option. But the first option said no because he didn't want to friggin' ride the bench when Greenlaw came back.
Yeah.
Like, everybody knew that you were a placeholder.
Yeah.
Like, how were you the one that didn't know that?
Yeah.
And then you saw it whenever Greenlaw came back. He was flying all over that field.
Yeah.
Like, like I said on Friday, they didn't even have a first down in the first quarter and a half.
Yeah.
So, like, you're kind of a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
And I would be very wary if, I was a fan of another team and he did get picked up. Yeah. Because, like, you're clearly a mercenary. You're just there to get a payday.
Yeah.
If you're going to refuse to play when your brother goes down, like, not for me.
Yeah. The Cowboys game was Thursday, huh?
No, the Niners played Thursday. Cowboys game was yesterday morning.
Oh, they probably got dog walked. I didn't even look. Who knows?
No, they won.
Did they?
Yeah, they won.
Who did they play?
Why do I not? I literally watched the game.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers clinched playoffs this year, right? They just clinched because the Colts lost.
Yeah, they clinched. Yes, the Texans.
Texans also clinched their division. Yep.
Yeah, no, there was the Bills beat the brakes off the Lions yesterday.
Did they really?
It was the final score was closer than the game actually was. Josh Allen's the MVP. Like, I don't understand how you could give it to anyone else. And I saw something about, like, Lamar is better than Josh Allen. Like, everything that Josh Allen is good at, Lamar's better at.
Not throwing the ball, not even close.
Yeah, I disagree. Lamar had a fantastic day yesterday. He threw 5 touchdowns. Yeah. I don't even think he threw over 250 yards. Yeah. So
he was throwing dinker dunks.
I'm probably so wrong on that. He probably did break 300 yards. But, like, you got to look at the team they were playing.
Yeah. Running the ball, I'd give it to Lamar. Yeah. Lamar is way better at running the ball than Josh Allen.
I wouldn't even say way better, but
I would. That dude is so shifty. Yeah. Like, Lamar, like, the speed with the shiftiness of Lamar Jackson it's like no other when he runs the ball. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Josh Allen is an elite ball carrier. Elite. But, like, being able to be elite at carrying the ball and being one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL throwing the ball, like, that's...
He's one of one.
Yeah.
Like, he's especially this season, he's better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's better than Joe Burrow. Like, I don't understand how you can give the MVP award to anybody after you gave it to Lamar last year, whenever he wasn't even top 5 in any of the passing stats, and he didn't have over 1,000 yards rushing. The touchdowns weren't there.
Yeah.
Like, and he's very good at taking care of the ball. Don't get me wrong. And Josh Allen this year is putting the ball in way less danger than every other year that he's been in the league. I like Josh Allen. Like, and if the game went the other way last night, I'd say there was a real case for
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. Because Jared Goff, I mean, he's having a crazy year as well.
Yeah.
With the 13 injuries on defense. Like, he does not have the defense to back it up anymore. But neither do the Bills.
Yeah.
The Bills' defense is good, but they're the first team since, like, 1960-something to give up 40 and score 40 in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they don't. Yeah. The Bills haven't had a defense for a couple years now.
And so I saw this this dude bet like 9 league winners, right? $10 bet, and he's got like $2 million on the line or something like that.
Oh my God.
It comes down to the Lions winning the Super Bowl this year. David Montgomery is done for the season, I think. I think he tore his MCL yesterday in the game. They still have an elite running back.
Yeah,
but the combination of those two guys
is what makes them.
Yeah. And with all the injuries on that defense, if I was that dude, I'd hit that cash out button right now for like $50,000.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this dude picked Manchester City to win the Premier League. He picked Real Madrid to win La Liga and the Champions League. Like, he picked 8 league winners. He picked Boston to win the freaking championship. Like, he picked he freaking picked Florida to win the Stanley Cup.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like, the dude just picked all of these correct, and it comes down to the Lions, and I would hit that cash out button now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sitting there in that first game of the playoffs, like, sweating it out. But yeah, they had another injury on that defense yesterday as well. They lost another linebacker. I think they're down to 2 linebackers now. So, I mean,
Is there anybody that they can pick up right now?
Devondre Campbell, not playing. Then that's probably what they would have done if the Niners would have released him, because Devondre Campbell did not have a bad season for us.
No.
And he wasn't the starter every other game. That's why I don't understand what happened last week.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't even the starter, like, all throughout Greenlaw being out.
Yeah.
So, but that's probably what they would have done. They probably would have picked up Devondre Campbell. I mean, they picked up like 6 guys off the street this season already.
Yeah. That Aiden Hutchinson.
And that sucks, dude, because, I want it to be. Like, if it's not the 49ers, like, the Bills are okay. Like, I would like to see Josh Allen win one.
But a Bills-Lions Super Bowl would be sick, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that was my dream scenario.
Like, who else in the NFC is going to give the Lions a run for their money? Other than maybe the Vikings?
Yeah, the Vikings are sneaky good, but
I'm
pretty sure the Lions beat the brakes off of them, so.
Yeah, but who else in the NFC right now is going to give them a run?
The Eagles.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles are solid.
Yeah. And they're going to have a tough time stopping Saquon.
The problem with the NFL right now is like, you know, people throw around the label, like, game manager. Like, you know, and Jared Goff is one, supposedly, even though he just threw for over 400 yards against the Bills yesterday.
Yeah.
Granted, they were down by multiple touchdowns the entire game.
Yeah.
But, like, there is a point to say that every elite quarterback in the NFL is in the AFC. Like, you got Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow,
Patrick Mahomes.
Like
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Lamar. Like, they're all in the AFC.
Yeah.
So if one of those guys really wants to win a Super Bowl, just go to the NFC. You're going to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the NFC...
Josh Allen, come to the 49ers, please.
Yeah. In the NFC, like, you've got Jared Goff, who's elite this year, and you have to base his performance year to year because he's not...
He's not the Rams quarterback from 5-6 years ago, whatever it was.
No.
Like, whenever... And he took that team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, but then he fell off. He took that team to a Super Bowl and then, like, fell off the...
But it also wasn't just him. I mean, they had Todd Gurley.
Yeah,
like,
that team fell
crazy.
apart. Yeah. I've been seeing highlight videos pop up on my phone. Like, prime Todd Gurley 5 or 6, 7 years ago was just different.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Didn't he go... Where'd he go?
He went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then he retired after a season or two in Atlanta. But he only played like 6 or 7 seasons. He didn't play very much. And I saw something, he was sitting down on a podcast. I can't remember what podcast it was. And they were asking him, like, why'd you retire so early? And he's like, I made my money. He's like, I got my bag. Like, I'm set for life. My kids are set for life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I need to stay in the NFL? Like, he had some injury issues, like his ACL and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, why do I need to stay in the NFL and keep hurting myself when I have my money and I can
I'm
run
not
right
gonna
off?
be able to freaking play with my kids.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
like,
I'm going to take my money and ride off into the sunset and be solid,
All right,
which he did.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but we have talked about this before. Is it the NFL or the UFC that has the retirement program? I think it's the NFL.
I think it's the NFL. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the NFL.
I'm pretty sure we've said in the past that the UFC needs to do something like that. Like, they need to adopt something like that. Obviously, we're both UFC fans. But the last thing you want to do is see a guy like Stipe getting back into the ring because he's out of money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because that did not work out
dude,
too well for him.
What's his name? Colby Covington just lost to Joaquin Buckley this weekend, too. And I think Joaquin Buckley's getting ready to make a case in that weight class.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I have on the NFL this weekend.
Yeah.
A lot of the, like, literally, so I watch Red Zone and whatever game is actually on TV at the time.
Yeah.
And then the witching hour, there was literally, like, on Red Zone, he does the witching hour, like, in the fourth quarter, every single, like, section of game, morning and afternoon. And every game was a blowout except for the Jets, who are 3 and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, now they're 4 wins. And who are they playing? Like, Tennessee, I think, that also had 3 wins. So, like, that was the only close game, which, speaking of video game numbers and Ashton Jeanty and all that, Devontae Adams yesterday.
He go off?
Oh, my God. Like, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown, he was tackled at the 1-yard line. Like, yeah, it was, like, he was tackled at the 1-yard line or he would have had 3 touchdowns.
Oh, man.
And he caught the 2-point conversion to tie the game up.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I told you it'd take a couple weeks for him to get into Aaron Rodgers form.
Yeah.
Everybody thought when he first went to the Jets that it was like just going to be one of those things where you just hop back in the saddle and you're good to go. And it's
he
not,
just spent
dude.
the last couple years getting friggin' smoked every week to week because his quarterbacks would set him up.
Yeah, so it's going to take you a couple weeks, like after being not having that for a couple years. It's going to take you a couple weeks to get back into shape, and he's gotten back into shape.
Yeah.
Everybody was crucifying that man after he had 30 yards and 2 catches in his first game with the Jets.
And a couple drops, too.
Yeah, and a couple drops. But I guess it's going to happen. Like I said, it doesn't always just come back and click. So, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. So we could talk about the UFC a little bit because I actually watched like a breakdown of Joaquin Buckley's entire career.
Yeah.
And, like, he was 1-0. And, like, by knockout.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, he's got that
got
crazy...
knocked out.
He's got that crazy...
And then in his third fight was the freaking one where his leg got caught and
he
did that freaking
spinning up kick.
Yeah. So that was in his third fight.
Yeah.
2-1. And then he got knocked out again to go 2-2, and then he got I think he got a decision, so he's 4-2, and then he got knocked out again. Like almost every single one of his fights, besides like 2 or 3, have been knockouts, one way or the other.
Well, bro, he just fought like 6 weeks ago against Wonder Boy. I think did we watch that one? We did. We watched that one here, me, you, and Johnny. Maybe it was more than 6 weeks ago. It was before duck season. But still, that's 2 months ago?
Yeah.
2.5 months ago, and he just fought Colby Covington last night and won by stoppage because Colby Covington had a crazy cut over the top of his eye.
Yeah.
Like Nate Diaz type cut. And I don't know if that was the headliner for that card or not, but because he moved weight classes. I think he moved up a weight class. And he, like, looking at him in that lower weight class, he was a big dude. Looking at him in his new weight class, it's like, holy cow. Like, it's like the Alex Pereira thing where, like, you belong in this weight class, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, because he beat Wonder Boy by stoppage, and then he beat Colby Covington just now. And I think the fight against Wonder Boy was his first fight in that division.
Yeah, I don't know exactly like who he's fought and stuff like that, but
he's fought Kevin Holland.
I mean I don't know when and
gotcha.
Like I don't know the exact timeline on it. But he's not fighting chumps.
No.
Like, and he's not one of the, like, and I know you're gonna crucify me for saying it, but he's not Paddy Pimblett getting freaking, eased up the ladder.
Yeah.
Like, because Paddy just had his first fight against a ranked opponent, I'm pretty sure. And I know he doesn't have a lot of fights.
Yeah, against Bobby Green.
Yeah.
That was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It's
so
been a while now.
He's probably about ready to fight again.
Yeah.
If he can make weight.
He always does, though. Like, I feel like he cuts weight so well. Like, because he gets pudgy, dude. They call him Pudgy Patty or whatever they call him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets big when he's not in fighting shape. But then, like, he gets in camp and just a couple weeks and he's back down to weight.
Dude, I need to train myself better, but I'm about to freaking pee my pants right now. So we will be right back.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're back. We were talking about the UFC a little bit. There's a couple fights. What fights are coming up?
I don't know. Probably should have looked at that while we were still paused.
Yeah. Let's look it up. Let's see what's coming up. Merab. Okay, so that Colby Covington Joaquin Buckley fight, they were the main card.
That was on Fight Night, right? Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Joaquin Buckley won that. He's 21-6 right now, so he's not doing too bad.
What's his record?
21-6.
Jesus.
Nobody else worth looking at fought on that card. Let's see what's coming up. Merab is fighting Khabib's brother.
Oh. I
don't know which UFC event that is, but that one's coming up. I think it's in like February or May or something like that. Let me see. Events. That's what we want to look at. Upcoming. Nobody cares. Okay, so 3/11, January 18th is Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sarukian. That'll be a good fight. Who else is on that? That is okay. So yeah, that's the stacked one. That has Merab and Nurmagomedov. That's a title fight. Jamal Hill versus Erie.
Oh, okay.
That'll be a good fight. Kevin Holland versus somebody DeRuyter. That's got some good ones on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't wait to watch freaking Pereira fight again.
Izzy fights again too. February 1st. On a fight. When's the last time we saw Izzy on a fight night?
I don't know, but I was just listening because he was on Flagrant 2 a few weeks ago. It's been while I was off, so I started listening to that.
Yeah.
Coming home from softball the other day, and he said it before, and he says it every single time he goes on any podcast, does any kind of interview, whatever. that he just wants to do fun shit. And he was like, the longer I went with the belt, the harder it got, because I started fighting more conservatively.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you take less risks because you're worried about the title and all that.
Yeah.
And he's like, so now I just want to fight.
Yeah.
Like, and then he ended up losing to Duplessis, which
Mm-hmm.
sucks for him. But
Yeah.
obviously Izzy's my guy.
Yeah.
But, well, he's not exactly my favorite right now, Sugar Sean. But
yeah. Duplessis fights Strickland in February 8th.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one. He doesn't want to fight Strickland. I saw something the other day. He said he wanted to fight. Who did he want to fight? He wanted to fight somebody else. But he's like, I didn't want to fight Strickland, but they promised it to Strickland, so I have to fight him. So
I don't know. I'm not a huge Strickland fan.
That dude's hilarious, bro. I love watching Sean Strickland, dude.
No, he's a fine. Like, he's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's too much. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how I feel about him. I just, like, even so, Izzy. They asked Izzy about the freaking fight against Strickland.
Yeah.
And he was like, honestly, like, I just felt like in a haze.
Yeah.
Like the entire, like, walking in. He's like, I watched myself walk out. Like watching the fight back and stuff, and he's like, just watching it back, I don't feel like it was the same.
Yeah.
Like he's like I wasn't there.
Yeah. And we both said that too. Watching that fight is like Izzy was not there that night.
Yeah.
That was not Israel Adesanya.
I think that was the night of my wedding. No. That was the Pereira fight. Yeah.
The first Pereira fight.
Yeah.
Was the night of your wedding.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
Getting back to the hotel room, looking up the results, trying to find highlights, and none of them were out yet, and I was just like, damn it.
Yeah.
No, that
Turn the best night into the worst night.
No. It had no effect on me whatsoever.
My sister's gonna be pissed off about that
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah, no. Honestly, like, then watching him win by knockout, and then that freaking bow and arrow celebration, like, I want to get that framed in here.
Do you?
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't been, like, too in touch with the UFC lately. Like, I just feel like a lot of I watched the Pereira fight, the most recent one. I watched John Jones, the most recent one.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. This new era of fighters that's coming in is like, there's no like standouts yet, you know?
yeah, it's not very, very exciting.
Yeah, we're watching like a new generation take over. All the Dagestan guys. So it's not even like
No
mixed martial.
personality. It's just
It's not mixed martial arts. It's a bunch of freaking Russian dudes that are coming in here ready to wrestle bears and just watching dudes hug on each other for hours on end. Yeah, let's get back to the freaking dudes just beating the life out of each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we weren't able to watch the Max Holloway fight because that was a daytime one in duck season.
That was a 4 o'clock in the morning card.
Yeah.
Like that was.
Yeah, so that was out of the question.
Yeah, you were camping that weekend too. Well, you guys weren't camping, but you guys left early in the morning, and then I called you and I'm like, hey, you know the fight's on like right now, right?
Yeah, because we were planning on coming home that night and doing it, and then it ended up being a freaking morning fight, and I was just like I'll never do those.
Yeah, no.
Like, there's no way you're getting a group of, like, unless it was like Pereira and I would pay for it to watch it alone.
Yeah.
Like, I will never host a morning fight.
Yeah.
Like,
who wants to wake up
or
at
like
7 o'clock?
Leon, if Leon got the title back and then got another one in Manchester or something, I would do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I don't know those. Why would you do a main card at a time like that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You've had these dudes fighting at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning before, anyways. Why not do it again?
Yeah.
Like when they fought in Manchester, that's what it was, right? They were fighting at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah,
I don't know.
which Leon said that it didn't benefit him at all having it in Manchester because he was like, the fight ended up being at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and like I'm on an actual sleep schedule, whereas this guy's flying in, and he's only there for a week, so he's got a sleep, like he had to deal with jet lag and stuff. But then like the jet lag put him on an actual, like he was still on American time.
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
He's on a nighttime schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think.
Yeah, it's.
You fight in the United States mostly, anyways. You might as well just do them all here.
Yeah.
No, I think I thought it was badass that he got one in Manchester.
Yeah. But do it at a different time. Like, don't.
Which that one was at a decent time for us. It was just.
That was a regular time for us.
Yeah.
It was just it was an awkward time in Manchester. So that sucks.
And that card was terrible.
Yeah.
That was the card that we were all sitting here like.
That was the last time Patty fight.
That was the one Dana was like you can thank all those guys for no more fight bonus, no more guaranteed bonuses after fights now.
Yeah.
Because Patty got 2 bonuses that night.
Yeah, because he put Bobby Green in that triangle with the armbar and put him to sleep. So that was a good one actually for Patty.
Yeah, and that was probably the best opponent he's fought. And Bobby Green's like 40 and has like 60 fights under his belt.
Yeah, that dude just needs to give it up.
Yeah, he's exciting though.
He's entertaining.
I wouldn't say
exciting. He's entertaining. Which there's very few of those guys in the UFC anymore. Kevin Holland's the most entertaining fighter right now. Just because they call him Big Mouth. He's gonna sit there and talk to you the whole fight. Like when he fought Joaquin Buckley, he told him, he's like, "Hey, you got a booger hanging out of your nose. Clean it."
I think that was the first Joaquin Buckley fight that I saw.
Oh, okay. That was during COVID, I think. So
I'm not watching fight nights regularly and stuff, which they're free, so I don't know why I don't, but
yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple. I'm a snob, and I just like watching the big fights.
Yeah, that's how I am. I'd rather watch the big fights, but it sucks because the lower fights is usually the fight nights is usually the entertaining ones.
You got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
Everything to gain.
You watch those big cards and you want to watch the prelims because in the prelims you're gonna see 5-6 knockouts. You're gonna see a couple submissions.
Yeah.
People not wanting to tap, getting the arms broken and put to sleep.
Yeah, unless you're fighting or watching a guy like John Jones who's gonna do everything he can to put somebody to sleep, or Izzy for a while was like his first few defenses.
Oh, dude, he was just beating dudes up.
Yeah, and it was tactical as well as entertaining if you actually like watching people stand.
Yeah. Gilbert Burns, he beat up Gilbert Burns. He beat up Paulo Costa. He beat up quite a few.
And
dudes.
He wasn't knocking people out, but he was winning decisions by landslides.
Yeah, landslides. He was just sitting there picking dudes apart, and he's standing there with a scratch or two on his face, and the dudes next to him are just leaking.
Yeah, because you're like, Izzy could fight tomorrow. Yeah. And this guy is going to take 6 months off.
6 months recovery.
Yeah, his leg's broken.
Yeah. And Conor McGregor might be making a comeback.
We've been talking about this for 5 years.
Well, I just read something the other day. He cheated on his wife or something.
I know. I wanted to put that as one of my stories. That court case.
Yeah, I didn't even know all that stuff.
Oh.
I didn't even know he was battling.
I try and do stories that I don't think you would pay attention to. So I thought you would have known about that one.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
Apparently he lost the court case and he's going through appeals or something like that, which...
But he said, I saw something the other day and he was like, I just want all this to be over with so I can get back to fighting. He's like, I'm coming back.
Yeah, so. I loved Conor back in the day. But I've had friends in the past cheat on their wives and I'm no longer friends with them.
Yeah.
So for me to idolize somebody that is such a piece of shit is kind of hard. But if he comes back, I'll root for him.
Yeah.
In the octagon, but other than that, nah, bro. Stop embarrassing your family. Get back to work in the gym.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
It. Plus, I remember he had one kid. I don't know if he had another kid or not, but
I have no idea.
Yeah.
How many kids he's got?
Oh no, I saw his son the night of one of the title fights, and he had like a 5-month-old baby in a freaking 3-piece suit. For like, dude, it was the cutest shit I ever saw.
Yeah.
But that was back when he was cool.
Yeah. He's getting old now, though.
Yeah.
Top
and
5
he's clearly
today.
on roids. Hold on, there is something else. I think I'm done live streaming Manchester United games, like officially, because I did one after they won that last one, and I didn't live stream it. I've done 2 since then. They lost the game after that, the one that I did live stream.
Yeah.
And then they lost again the next game that I live streamed. And then the last 2 games, they've won both, and I didn't stream either of them. Like they played yesterday against Manchester City, one of our big rivals, and I was like Sydney had some stuff to do in the morning, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just stay in, watch the game with Kip. She ended up not even leaving until like the 90th minute, but like it was a good game. It was just like I was just sitting there like, not again. Like, we can't lose to these. Like they've won 1 game in their last 11. They've won the last 4 titles. Yeah. Like they're just going through a terrible stretch, and then they were up 1-0 at halftime, and it was like the most fluke goal you've ever seen. And I was just like sitting there just watching the game like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we were creating nothing, and then all of a sudden we scored one in the 88th minute and then the 90th minute, and we took a 2-1 lead, and then we ended up winning the game, and I was just like, well, that would have been a good one to live stream. Yeah. But now I don't know if I can. But, so it was... Yeah. No, it's been like such a roller coaster season. And plus, like, the new manager left out 2 players. The only 2 players that play in a certain position left both of them out. Not even in the match day squad. They were both at home.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Like, and they've both been severely underperforming this season. And, like, what a massive call. And if we would have lost and they weren't even on the bench to try and come on and rescue us.
Yeah.
Like... Oh my God! And it just feels like the turn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I'm just
how the turntables.
Yeah, and then I'm like thinking about all the other shit that I do, and I'm like, do I really need to live stream these games? Like, especially if they're not winning. Like, they're not winning when I'm on stream. Like, is it my fault? And then, whenever I first started doing it this season, I was talking to you about it, and I'm like, there's like 10 Manchester United channels now that all have like over 500,000 followers or like subscribers on YouTube and stuff. I saw an entire compilation, like 50 live streamers on the friggin' during the Arsenal game that we ended up losing, and I was like, there's that many of them? What?
God.
Yeah, so I'm just like, maybe I don't need to do this. Maybe I could just actually watch the games and enjoy them with my son.
Yeah.
Or
and then Miles can start
all
watching
the kids.
Yeah, then they can start watching them with you too.
Yeah. I said just him because he was the only one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I watch all the other games.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into top 5 foods.
So.
Oh, I said foods. I don't know why I said foods.
We did the last one on Patreon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we did our top 5 fast foods on Patreon. Go to Patreon and check that one out.
Yeah.
We're going to do our top 5 most overrated foods.
I mean, you're kind of getting like half my list.
Yeah.
I don't know how it ended up being 2 of them were on my top 5, but they're also in my top 5 overrated.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and start us
So
off,
a couple of these like I like, but I think they're way too overhyped. So actually only one of them I like, but I think it's way overhyped, and I put that at number 1 too.
Oh.
So number 5 is eggnog. It's a Christmas thing. I'm not a fan.
I told you not to put it on there because I love it.
Yeah,
I love eggnog.
I think it's one of those things that like it's Christmas time and everybody's like, oh, let's drink eggnog. I think it
fucks my stomach up every time too, and I still drink it.
Yeah.
So
see, it's not it. I I heard you throwing a couple fast food restaurants on your list, so I threw this one in there because
I wasn't even trying to read it out loud. I was just listing them off, and I started doing it out loud, and I was like, oh yeah.
Everybody raves about this place, and it is not good. We talked about it on our top 5 list last week. Raising Cane's. It's
ass.
Yeah, garbage.
It's ass. Yeah, I can't
way
believe
too
that wasn't on
overhyped.
mine.
Everybody in California was like, we need Raising Cane's, and now they're popping up everywhere, and they suck.
Yeah, their sauce is dog shit.
Their sauce is garbage. Their chicken's not the greatest. Like, it's bad food. Guacamole.
It's number 3.
Number 3.
That is severely overhyped by everybody.
Way overhyped, dude.
I mean, I'm allergic, but
yeah, but like I do not like it. I'm not a fan.
I'm allergic, but I don't like die or anything. I don't need an EpiPen. Like Benadryl will work if I have a reaction. Sometimes I don't. Like, whenever I eat sushi and stuff, like if avocado's on it, I'm not gonna pass up. So
yeah. But yeah, like avocado, not just guacamole. Like anything avocados is way too overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Which my mom's gonna hate me for this because my mom will open an avocado and just straight avocado slice, start
not
eating
even
it.
Salt?
She'll salt it, but like she'll just eat an avocado, and I'm like,
weird. It's too expensive.
I can't do that. Yeah, anything avocado, and I mean there will be times where like if there's guacamole or avocado on something, like you said, sushi, I'll eat it on sushi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ask them to take it off. If I get a sandwich and it has some avocado on it, like I'm not gonna cry about it. It's not the end of the world. If I get a burrito and it's got it in there, it's not the end of the world. But I'm not going out of my way to ask for it. I'm really just not a fan of it.
I'm not gonna pay an extra friggin' $4 at Chipotle to have it on there.
Exactly.
Sydney.
Yeah, I'll pay for the queso.
Yeah,
I'll pay for the queso any day of the week.
Every
but
time.
yeah, not the guacamole. Sweet potatoes and like candied yams. I put those together.
Overhyped? Yeah. I think a lot of people don't like it.
I
love it.
Maybe it's because I have family from the South and like it's something that they do. But yeah,
I have it like once a year, and every time
it's
I'm like,
Thanksgiving
I need more
time.
of this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I never. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody like, oh, you gotta try it. Like, and I've never been like that with that.
But it's one of those dishes that's like every year it's at Thanksgiving. Somebody's making it, and it just should not belong on the table.
If you make it right, it's bomb.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of sweet potatoes. Like sweet potato pie, sweet potato casserole,
fries.
Yeah, sweet potato fries.
Yeah,
no,
I don't know who thought of that. Yeah, that shit's ass.
Bro, you know what's really good? Have you ever had like waffle fries, where it's like the sweet fries?
Oh, but as sweet potatoes?
No. It's waffle fries, but like they're like they come with like powdered sugar and you dip them in syrup. Mm-mm. There's a place in Patterson called Shooters, and they make them. Dude, you talk about to die for. Those are fire. Those are not overrated because those live up to the hype.
Oh, okay.
Number 1 is green bean casserole. That's another Thanksgiving dish that is at every Thanksgiving somebody's making.
You don't like it?
No, not that I don't like it, but I think it's overhyped. It's not all that in a bag of chips.
Me. It is.
I do like it. I'll eat it, and I like it, but I feel like it's overhyped.
I also really like mushrooms, so if like it's cream of mushroom and I don't even know how to make it, to be honest. I don't know why I don't. But
I think it's like cream of mushroom and like some breadcrumb and green beans and maybe some other stuff, but it's good.
Sydney made it with bacon for Thanksgiving too.
People put bacon in it. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's overhyped. Because I'll eat it. It'll be on my plate every time. But
you know what's underhyped? Is tuna casserole. I freaking love tuna casserole, though.
That sounds disgusting.
You've never had it?
Mm-mm. Oh. You know what I feel like is underhyped is stuffing.
Oh, that shit's ass.
It's
always dry and freaking like, nah.
No, but if you get moist stuffing, oh my God, I can throw down on some stuffing, dog.
I don't know why you just had to say it like that, but that shit's ass.
I kill some stuffing. Johnny hates it, but I give me them portions. We used to trade, dog. We used to sit at the kitchen table. My mom would leave the kitchen, the dining room, and we'd start trading food. He'd get all my vegetable. I'd get all the starch. Gravy.
No, shit's terrible.
I used to take my vegetables, and when we had that felony dog that we had, when she lived with us, if she was in the house, I used to take my vegetables and just under the table to the dog if I wasn't trading them with Johnny. But I was terrible as a kid with vegetables. My mom would make me sit there till 9 o'clock. I'd swallow. I couldn't eat lima beans. Like, the inside of a lima bean is just disgusting. I think lima beans in general, like, they should just, why are they in a mixed vegetable bag? Disgusting. But I used to have to swallow them like pills. Like, I would put it in my mouth and just chug a water. Because my mom wouldn't let me leave the table without eating them. I had to eat them.
Oh, man. I wish I could do that with my kids.
That's how I learned to, like, swallow pills. Because I used to not be good at swallowing pills either. And then started doing it with lima beans. And I was like, pretty good at this. I would have been a great freaking drug addict with pills. Thanks to lima beans. You see what you did to me, Mom? Forced me to eat my lima beans.
That's terrible. Oh, your list isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Besides eggnog and green bean casserole, I can't believe that's at your number 1. That's terrible.
Like I said, it's good, but it's like the most hyped food at Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, because turkey's ass.
Yeah, turkey is garbage, bro. I don't know who thought that Thanksgiving was a good idea for the turkeys, but bro, there's some people that just...
Now, you got to, like, deep fry it or something. Like, you got to make it a different way.
Yeah.
Just making that shit in the oven is terrible.
It comes out tasting like cardboard.
You don't,
so
like,
dry.
and I'm speaking to all of you. You don't baste it enough. Like, or something. I don't know what everybody does, but everybody does it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, every single person
The
that
one
I've ever
person
had turkey.
that I would give props to is my cousin Marky. That fool can cook.
Yeah.
That fool
And
can
I
make
did
a turkey.
try the turkey, and that shit was still dry as fuck. So
That's why I only eat dark meat on a turkey. That's the only thing that has a little bit of moisture in it is the dark meat.
I don't mind
and it's
it.
gotta have some skin on it because the skin's good.
Yeah.
But you get below the skin and get the actual meat.
I don't mind it, like, whenever you do, like a sandwich the next day, like mayonnaise, you know, but you got to have all the other shit to, like, and then you have to have a full-ass, bigger than this thing of water next to you while you're freaking drinking, while you're eating.
Yeah. Ham is 1,000 times better than turkey, and ham should have been our Thanksgiving food. But as a country, we made a mistake and dropped the ball for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no friggin' turkey in my house, though.
Yeah.
It's all ham.
Yeah.
My list.
Let's hear
Gonna
it.
get absolutely crucified, but I don't care. Coming in at number 5, Chicago style pizza.
Yeah.
It's just fucking pizza, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's not
bigger
your
slices.
shit's not special.
So what it is it's like Costco size slices, but it's like thin crust.
Yeah.
Like it's
no. Yeah, your pizza's not that good. Your football team sucks. Like that whole place, bro. It's just ass.
Burn it down and start over.
Yeah.
It's on the same level as Detroit.
It's windy as fuck. Like, nah, we're good. We're good without Chicago pizza.
Yeah. Me and my mom went to Georgia for Thanksgiving when I was in high school, because that's where Uncle Mike and Aunt Ree were living at the time. And I went into Atlanta, and they have like, so my cousin Kayla took me into like a little downtown Atlanta area, and they have like Chicago style pizza and stuff. And we went and tried it, and yeah, it's not what it's like.
Nothing special.
I would much rather have Costco pizza. I'd rather have Little Caesars deep dish.
Yeah, I'm not too picky with all that.
Yeah.
Your shit's overrated. Coming in at number 4, we have Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I know everybody loves it, and I don't mind. It was in my top 5 fast foods.
Yeah.
It's getting nowhere near top 5 foods.
I think so. I think the overhype on it is like I'm not going and sitting in a line.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what I was gonna say before you rudely interrupted me.
My bad.
Yeah, no, Chick-fil-A, like, go fuck yourself. It's not special enough to sit in a line for 2.5 hours.
That's only a California thing.
Yeah, because we went and never mind. Chick-fil-A was not on my list. It was Chick-fil-A in Oklahoma was on my list.
yeah.
Because the line was not ridiculous. Everybody was way nicer. Mm-hmm. Like, no, I'm good.
So Chick-fil-A in California is overrated.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A outside of California, it's perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in other big cities it's probably ass too, but
we had it in Nashville.
We don't even have a big city. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But we have one for from here to French Camp below Stockton. Everybody's going to Manteca. Mm-hmm. And then, like, because you go to the Stockton one, the Stockton one's not terrible. Mm-hmm. But you got to drive all the way to Stockton for it.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
When I was working in Stockton, it wasn't bad.
I wouldn't even drive to the end of my street for it, to be honest, to sit in that line.
We'll see how many people are going to end up in that line. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Mm-hmm. I think we'll be all right. Because
I think the line's going to be miserable for the first 2 years that place is open.
Yeah. Once they open, they need to open one in Turlock. Because if they can open one in Turlock and keep, like, people south of Ceres out of here, we'll be good. But, like, we get one here, like, then it's just Modesto and Ceres people that are going to this one. Because everybody from Salida and Upper is going to go to Manteca. That's right down the road for them.
Yeah.
So.
Coming in at number 3, also on my list. But In-N-Out.
I knew it was coming.
Outside of California, this place is so overhyped, and it's in my top 5 fast food restaurants. It is good fast food. But outside of California, or places that actually have it, like when I was in the Navy, dude, everybody from California was like, "You've never had In-N-Out?" Like to other people, obviously not me, but I was like, it's not worth going to California for it.
Yeah, it's not worth making a trip to California for it. But
if you are here,
yes, and it's compared to what? Whataburger is what it's compared to. A lot of people
shits on Whataburger.
Yeah, so that's where the hype comes from. Is people outside of California get outside of California, they try Whataburger, and they're like, "What are you guys doing? And why do you not? Why not eat an In-N-Out burger?" But you're right. It's not worth coming to California just to compare.
Yeah.
Like if you're a food person and
if you're a critic and you make money off of it, sure, do it. But
compare it to Whataburger because it's gonna. Or
if you're coming to California and you like, you're visiting family or something, like yes, try In-N-Out, and it will be good.
Dude, so I used to work with a kid at Turner's, and he was from Texas, I believe, and he thinks that Whataburger is better than In-N-Out.
Yeah, I couldn't be friends with him. Coming in at number 2, I also have avocado, but avocado toast. Grow the fuck up. Like, it's disgusting. Like, dude, put some freaking peanut butter on there and be done with your bread. Yeah. Like, no, we're not doing all this extra freaking $4 toast, like, for one piece of bread. Like, no, it's not. No. It's not good.
You know what toast used to be good? My sister used to make that, like, cinnamon sugar mix. Put that on some toast, like some buttery toast that's nice and crispy. Oh, dude, that's... I talk about diabetes on bread, baby. That was good.
Yeah. Coming in at number 1, all of the milk substitutes. Fuck, almond milk. Like, where does it come from, dude? Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that in my house. Get some friggin' 2% and grow up. Like, seriously. Like, it's getting ridiculous. You only drink almond milk? Like, okay, if you have a lactose thing and you can't do milk, but you love cereal, sure. Yeah. But if you're just buying regular almond milk and it's not the vanilla flavor or the chocolate flavor, like, you got to buy it flavored if you're going to buy it. Yeah. Like, simple as. It's no.
Yeah. Like soy milk.
Yeah, get fucked. I'm not doing it. No, oh man, it's not happening.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope we don't have any vegans or vegetarians that listen to this.
Yeah, get fucked. That's simple as that. If you're listening to this podcast and we talk about hunting and shit, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I used to like almond milk, but the vanilla one.
Yeah.
But like, no, I'm not spending, like, milk is already expensive enough. And then you start doubling the price for half gallons. No, we're good.
Yeah. I know Joey just kind of took took dairy out of her diet, because the doctor said so, because the baby's like having some constipation issues and stuff. And the doctor's like, maybe try taking dairy out of your diet. And like, she's like, but then I can't have cereal and I can't drink, like, she'll sit down and just drink a glass of milk. I'm like, try getting you almond milk. She's like, yeah, but then you have to get it flavored, and like, that's the only way that's good. was like, yeah, but I don't know, because I've heard that, like, she read something that said your diet doesn't change, like, the milk that the baby gets. And then she read something else that says that your diet does determine what your baby gets, which I'd rather her just keep eating dairy and, like, let him work that out, because we're not gonna say, oh, you're lactose intolerant because mom wasn't eating dairy when you were breastfeeding, so now you can't eat dairy and you got a soft stomach. Like, we're not doing no gluten allergy and, like, all these fruitcake diseases that are out nowadays. Not doing all that.
They're not diseases. It's a condition.
Yeah, but it's made because people are soft. That's the problem.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. People with a gluten allergy that are like, I gotta have a lettuce burger because you can't eat the buns. Just suck it up. No one cares. I can't eat Taco Bell because I can't eat tortillas. Eat it. Nobody cares.
Or just don't, but we don't need to know.
Yeah. Like, they just, like, it's gotta be their identity.
Stop making your fucking pets vegan too.
Oh, this is an episode for the public too. We're gonna get railed for this one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah,
I'll sit there and respond to all of them too. I don't care.
Yeah, I
actually won't, but post and ghost.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that whole gluten and soy and lactose intolerant, which lactose intolerant I get, because when I was working in Arizona, like, those little bunkhouses that we were staying in were tiny, so if somebody's ripping one and they're like, Bob is lactose intolerant. When I was working in Nevada, he had his wisdom teeth pulled, like, the second day of our rotation. So while we were there. So he just went down to the dentist and got him pulled at the only dentist in Elko. Got his wisdom teeth pulled. Took like 2 days off of work and then came back. But while he was off work, so Bob's lactose intolerant. Bob could only eat ice cream because he got his wisdom teeth pulled. Talk about a brutal couple of days. You'd come home, like, we'd come back to the hotel after work, and it was just rank because Bob's just sitting there ripping them all day, eating his tub of ice. Like, we came back one day, and this one's got the TV on. He's passed out in bed. He's got the lid off of the ice cream tub, and the ice cream is, like, completely melting in his slosh. And he's just laying there, and we turn the lights on. He's like, oh, like, just high as a kite on his painkillers because his mouth was hurting so bad. Oh, it was hilarious.
That's terrible.
But yeah, don't give Bob no ice cream.
All right.
But
we got
couple stories for me. Some hot shakes.
Yeah.
I don't know how I like that. Hot shakes.
Pretty lame.
Yeah, I think so. Give us a name. If you guys got a name, drop a comment. Something.
Yeah.
Hot takes with Chase or something.
My first thought when reading this story was, not again. Apparently, 300 deadly viruses from a lab in Australia have been misplaced. It apparently happened in 2021, but wasn't even noticed until August 2023, and not made public until now. All of the viruses can be carried by bats and rats and can kill humans. No need to panic, though, because officials have stated that there is no immediate risks. They said that the viruses would become non-infectious rapidly when outside of the freezer. They say they have no idea how it happened, but they are launching an investigation.
Get screwed. You want to do this on the episode that we're putting on YouTube?
I know.
I
was writing it and I was like, oh no. Like, oh no.
Yeah, we're going to get the episode 20 is going to get taken down. But
not from Spotify.
Not from Spotify. Spotify will play it. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, cut it right now, because after what I say, we are no longer, like you said about people who are drinking almond milk.
Get fucked.
Yep. Go ahead. Yeah, and we're not doing this again. There's no need. Like, keep those viruses in Australia. They're a little island out there. If we have to, blow it up.
Oh my God.
Just get rid of the island if that's the only way to get rid of the diseases.
Move all the people off of there to another island.
Yeah, Australians are cool. We can keep the Australians. Screw it. Move them to Canada and just become
this for Patreon.
move the Australians to Canada, make them a part of America, and blow up Australia, because we don't need a whole world epidemic lockdown for some fake disease.
And they were the worst about it too.
For some fake diseases that are going to do nothing.
Their government was the worst about lockdowns too.
Yeah.
They had like a 21-day hold on people. Like, people couldn't even what was that freaking tennis player that couldn't even compete or refused to compete, and he was like the number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Just let's not start this.
Just stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, nobody's allowed to leave.
Put them on a 21-day lockdown. Get rid of the diseases and call it a wrap.
No, apparently there's been like no cases or anything like that,
but here we are 3 years later, and somehow it's in the U.S.
They just figured it out.
Yeah. They figured it out a year ago.
Yeah.
Not just figured it out.
Now they just told us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Lose 300. How do you lose them? Like, did somebody go in and steal them shits?
They gave them to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, they were sent to Wuhan in 20...
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah, if we had another one of those, bro, I'm just going to make an island, find an island out in the middle of the ocean.
Upset about it, to be honest. I had a good time during COVID.
It was. We can get all Black Ops 6 just came out. Like, we'll be great.
We'll be chilling.
Yeah. We're going to get a ton more money from the government for no reason.
No, I would, yeah.
So that'd be nice. Give me a couple more months off of work.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because our job, they stayed open all through COVID.
Did they?
Yeah. It's essential, because we do all the work for the hospitals and stuff in the area. Yeah. So
just quit, and then you can get the government money.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. But next story, kind of sad, kind of weird that I'm just hearing about it. There's a woman who was married to a TikToker that turned out to be a serial killer.
The TikToker was a serial killer?
Yeah. Oh, they were married for 7 years.
While he was still killing?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, I'm not sure the timeline on this story. I didn't look too deeply into it. I heard about it and then looked up like certain facts and then just kind of like gave myself cliff notes.
Yeah.
Before he became known as the New Cairo Butcher, that was his serial killer name. He was a TikToker with over 600,000 followers, where all he did was teach people American slang. Back in May this year, he was arrested. What the hell? Oh my God. Sorry. Technical difficulties. I need a new laptop, babe. Back in May this year, he was arrested for the murder of multiple women in Egypt. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. Investigators had found that he had soundproofed his apartment so he could torture these women and no one could hear. And he recorded himself doing it.
Oh my God.
Sicko.
Where was his wife?
So that's what I'm getting to. So this woman that was married to him apparently had to flee to the UK with her sister because he tried to kill them both.
Oh my God.
Because he had tried to kill them. He had taken her son, and now she is using TikTok and social media platforms, trying to find her son, and she believes the guy's mother has him, but she can't find him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the dude's still out there on the loose?
No, he's dead.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
He was captured in May. Yeah, May.
Gotcha. But she still can't find her son?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And this, like, I think it just went live, like, Friday, maybe. Yeah, it was within this weekend.
Dang.
Yeah, she's trying to find him.
What if the mom was in on the gig the whole time too? That'd be crazy. Now she's got the son and she's just in the dark. Mm-hmm. That's wild. Are they from Egypt?
They're from the Middle East somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, New Cairo. So I think Cairo's in Egypt.
Okay. That's crazy. How do you not know? 7 years. Your apartment is soundproofed. Like,
yeah. Again, I don't know the timeline, like when he started.
Yeah.
Killing these women.
But still, like, how's he doing this in the apartment? Where's the wife the whole time?
Yeah, maybe she was gonna be his first victim, and she fled with her. Like her and her sister were gonna be the first victims.
And then they were married for 7 years, and then I gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, that's even then after 7 years. How do you not know you're married to a weirdo? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like that's. I mean, unless just one day he just decided, you know what, screw it, I got a new hobby, start killing chicks. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one, dude. That's crazy. Married for 7 years and dude's a serial killer. Good night.
Yeah, I was watching TikTok whenever I went to the bathroom and found another story. So I don't have anything written down about it, but apparently in Poland now, children 13 and older, because of the threat, like the escalations between Russia and the United States, and they're literally right in the middle.
Yeah.
Russia in the West. Apparently, children in Poland now are one of their classes, 13 and up, is firearm training.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I obviously not for those reasons, but I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that stuff like that should be taught in school. Stuff like that, stuff like they have they have mechanics in school too. Like learn these skills, learn how to weld, learn how to do these things, because these are actual life skills that like 80% of the people that you go to school with are gonna get into a construction trade, something along these lines. Then you've got the other 10% that are, no, I'd say like, so you got 40% that are going to go be construction guys and girls and do that stuff. You've got another 40% that's going to be lazy. They're going to go work at McDonald's, Taco Bell, retail stores, whatever. And then you've got 20% that's going to go to college and like try to get a big wig job. And then after they pay $200,000 in tuition, they're going to end up working back at McDonald's anyways. But like for that 40% that's going to go to the trades, like learn to weld in school, learn to like fix cars in school, learn how to work with your hands in school while they offer it. Don't just start picking like Spanish elective classes and all these stupid classes that aren't going to help you. They're not going to get you farther. Like, what are you sitting in art class for? Unless you're going to go to college for some sort of art thing, why are you sitting in an art class? Like, why are we sitting in English language class writing 500-page essays and 500-word essays and 3-page essays on stuff that, like, that's not going to help me when I get out of here.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid that we have to go through this stuff. Math, I get the whole math classes because you go through life every day having to solve math problems.
History, so we don't repeat it.
Exactly. But, like, there's certain stuff that we don't need these things in school. Like, you need to learn how to work with your hands. You need to learn how to build a work ethic, because just sitting in class, taking notes on stuff that you don't want to pay attention to, that's what's making these kids lazy.
Yeah, you forgot another percentage as well of people that, if you're learning that stuff, you might go to the military.
Yeah.
Or become a police officer.
Oh, yeah.
Or, so.
I kind of lump them in with the 40% of, but yeah, going to the military and doing that stuff too, like that. Why don't they have those type of classes in school? Like that are going to
life skills.
Exactly. That's going to prepare you
for. You should be taught how to friggin' do taxes and like teach you about credit and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, we kind of got off the topic a little bit. I think it's kind of hard, like the situation that they're in, because Poland also has been invaded in the last 80 years.
Yeah. So, So it does suck that
I guess it's not 80 years now, it's 90, but
it sucks that that's the position that they're in. Because when you're putting children, 13, you're a child.
Mm-hmm.
When you're putting children in that position, that like your children may have to stay home, like those could, because that's not who they're sending to war.
Yeah,
That's who's going to be at home protecting mom and the girls while dad's out at war. Like that's the sad part, is that like this is these 13-year-old children now these boys have to become men overnight.
Yeah.
And like that's sad, because as a child you should be able to enjoy your childhood. Up until the time you're 18, you should be able to. You're a kid. Enjoy being a kid. Don't get me wrong. At between 14 and 16 and 18, between 14 and 18, like you have to start learning life skills, because once you hit 18 and you become an adult, you need those life skills. Yes, mom and dad are still going to help you do things, but like by the time you're 14, you should be learning about taxes and credit cards and all this stuff, because you're going to get a job at 16 and now you have to do taxes once you get a job. And like you got to start learning that stuff. But as far as that goes, like that's a crappy situation. Like to have to prepare those kids to become men overnight and protect mom and the girls, like that sucks.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say this story because like it's kind of long to explain everything, but Travis Hunter's girlfriend is the worst, or fiance, whatever she is.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
she's
the worst.
She's the one that's gone through like 4 different celebrity dudes, right?
I don't know about all that. But supposedly she ignored him for a long time until he became Travis Hunter that we all know.
Yeah.
And she was like telling him that he's not her type and stuff and like shit like that. After Colorado's last game, she came down to the field and was just giving him attitude. Like she was mad at him or something. Like he literally just played the most emotional game of his life. Like he's leaving college. Of course he's going to go get a massive NFL contract. And like he looks like an NFL player.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the league for a while. At the Heisman Award ceremony, when it was announced that he won, out of like Shador, Dion, like I think it was Dion's wife that was there as well. Like there was 4 people sitting there for him, and she was the last one to stand up, and Dion had to nudge her to stand up and start clapping for him. And then she was the first one to sit down as well. And then like he came over and like was giving all of them hugs and stuff, and he went to her first, and she didn't even stand up to give him a hug. She stayed sitting. So yeah, super weird. They did a meet and greet at the Adidas event whenever he was signed. And he was like taking pictures and stuff with fans, and she was mad. She was sitting there the entire time, and she like there's a video of her saying, "Am I supposed to just sit here all day?"
Yeah, you can go home.
No.
Kick rocks.
Like I said with the avocado toast and milk substitutes, get fucked.
Yeah, you can kick rocks. I don't need
this
that.
fool's about to be $100 millionaire at some point.
This fool is like at the turning point in his life where his life's about to get crazy, because he's about to have the deepest pockets he's ever had. He's going to be playing for an NFL football team. He's going to be bigger than he's ever been. Celebrity-wise, like money-wise, like just as a whole, he's going to be bigger than he's ever been. Like, you don't got to deal with that, bro.
Yeah.
Especially if she put you off for so long, like because you weren't anything.
Yeah, it was like months.
Yeah. There's no way that, like, if you're not going to be at rock bottom with me, there's no way you're going to be with me at the top. Like,
yeah,
sorry.
I saw a dude reacting to it, and he was a college player or whatever, and I gotta find him again, because I would literally watch all of his TikToks. Like, he's hilarious, and he talks about like his wife and his kids and stuff. Yeah. I don't think he's in the league, but he was talking about like how he was a redshirt freshman, and he met his now wife, and she was at all the games with all of her friends, like, and he wasn't even playing. He was just watching. Like, he was literally just on the sideline watching, and she was in the stands watching. And she was wearing his jersey. Like, it's crazy. And like I said, I don't think he's in the league. So, it's just like total night and day difference. Like, clearly she's in it for the bag. Like, and then, like, how long is it going to be until all of a sudden Travis Hunter's life falls apart because this woman just took half of all of his shit? Like, I just think, I think that shit's crazy.
She got it for 18 years.
I hate stories like that because, like, he is such a good kid too. Like, he genuinely seems like a good, happy person. And, like, every single thing that he does, he's always smiling. Like, literally all he does is watch or, like, play football, play video games, and smile. Like, you never see him when he's, like, without a smile on his face. Unless they're losing, probably. I don't know.
But, like, this is where the kid's having the time of his life because he's in college. Like, he's having fun. Like, he's not, like, yes, it is a job for him to play college football. But, like, it's not his job yet. It's not his job. That's not what he does yet. So, like...
So I don't know what kind of NIL deals he has and whatever that is. But.
But, like, he's still at a point in his career when he can have some fun with it. Because once you get to the NFL, if you go to a winning team, yes, you're going to have fun. But you got to think, if you're going to be...
Still freaking hard work to play for a winning team.
It's still a job. No matter what team you're on, you still have a job.
Yeah, look at Nikola Jokic in the NBA. That fool hates his job. That fool, he's the funniest, dude.
Yeah, that dude's awesome. I saw a compilation the other day of him, like don't mess.
We have parade.
I saw a compilation of it was like why you don't mess with the Serbians in the NBA. It's just a video of him just retaliating on people like Markieff Morris.
Oh my! Didn't he break his back?
He did something to him.
Morris was out for a while.
Yeah, it was either Marcus Morris or Markieff Morris.
Yeah,
one of the brothers.
Twins.
Identical twins. But yeah, he like that dude is just a psychopath. Bro. His brothers are like Serbian gangbangers and stuff. Crazy. But yeah, I would like you see the look that his brothers give like when something like that happens. Like his brothers are like standing up on this like front row like. We got a problem? Have you heard
the stories about like his teammates going over there? Like whenever he's in the off season and stuff, and like I'm pretty sure Jamal Murray was like this dude is like a legit superstar over there. Like he's like the king. And all he wants to do is just go to the racetrack with his horses and like dude, that dude is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
I mean, that's it for all the stories that I got. But
I got a story for you that I actually saw on Instagram the other day. I seen this thing that said that Florida starting January 1st is going to ban all social media until the age of 16.
$16 is probably a good age.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this a lot off of the podcast. I don't agree with like a government being able to tell grown-ups what to do.
Yeah.
Like, not whether it be drugs or anything like why weed is still illegal is beyond me. I don't do it, but like shit like that, yeah. When it comes to grown-ups, like obviously you have to tell people if you rape, murder, steal, like you're gonna go to prison. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like telling people what to do, but when it comes to kids, like I think about Sophia going on social media in a couple years. I mean, she's 10, and she's gonna be on social media as soon as she has a phone. And then you hear about that story that I told you a couple weeks ago, where this kid's bullied so badly, so and she tries to kill herself. So 16 is probably a good age. Anybody that has Twitter has tweeted something stupid when they're a kid.
Yep.
And you see it all the time with like famous people and stuff trying to get canceled for something they tweeted when they were like Ben Shapiro tweeted something at like 17 or 18 and he's like in it almost 30 or something and he's they're trying to cancel him. I don't know. But then it's like, should anybody have the right to tell me what I can do with my kids?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm torn on that. I think it's gonna be a social experiment kind of.
Yeah.
Florida weird anyway.
Florida is a social experiment.
Yeah.
I agree with it. I'm like my kids are gonna have burner phones until like once.
Bro, if I could like get away with it in today's society, having like a flip phone, I would do it, bro. Like just hanging up on somebody with a flip phone, bro. Shut up, bitch. Close the phone. Like, dude, that was the best.
My wife talks about it all the time. It's like, I want to get a flip phone. Like, just put my phone away and get a flip phone. Like, not have to deal with social media and all this stuff. Just get a flip phone. I got to call who I got to call.
What's funny is I say that as we're doing a podcast that we put on the internet every week. And I clip it and I respond to TikTok comments and stuff before my phone got stolen. So
yeah. I don't know how I feel about the whole going to a flip phone thing. I don't know if I could really do without social media.
If I could just have one just to take calls on it, I would do it.
Yeah,
because I'd hang up on everybody. Like
I set 1,000 reels a day. Like I can't.
Yeah, you do, and I haven't looked at one in a year and a half. So
Johnny hates it. Like we'll be sitting there in the duck blind, and Johnny's got like 30 reels to go.
How does Johnny hate it? Johnny sends me reels all the time, and I don't even look at Instagram.
That's because Johnny just wants to scroll through his own reels and send me reels. When I do the same thing and look at my own reels and send him reels.
Freaking! So I posted Kip for the first time at 5 months.
Yeah,
and I think it was 5 months.
Yeah, it was like 2 months ago, I think. He's what?
Maybe it was 4 months.
Yeah,
he just hit 5 months. He'll be 6 months on Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was 4 months or 5 months. It was probably 4 months. And Janelle.
Yeah.
She said something about like, oh, cool. Like, I guess we'll see him again when he's 1 or something. And I was like, you made the list, bitch. Like, I just don't do it. Like, that was probably my first post in over a year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do personal Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
I rarely tweet. Like, and if I do, it's about Manchester United. Like, I have a tweet that I regret from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The tweet was, every time I watch Patrick Mahomes, it excites me, and he's so fun to watch, and I fucking can't stand him now. So I clearly regret that one.
I don't have X or anything like that. I got Snapchat, which I literally have Snapchat because I have a streak with my brother, and there's a couple people that like I watch their stories and stuff.
I haven't had Snapchat in 2 years.
Instagram, I have to send reels to my brother and Garrett and Tyler, sometimes KJ and Bob. And then like I like Facebook. I use Facebook for the hunting groups that I'm in. And I don't post anything. Like the only time that I post on there is like if I find a funny duck hunting meme.
Oh, I know, because you were supposed to be running the freaking. Supposed to be running the Instagram for the podcast.
Bad idea.
And that freaking that Instagram hasn't seen a freaking post since our 3rd episode, I think.
My bad, y'all. But I like, and then I post my duck hunting stuff on there sometimes. Which even that, like, I really don't post all that much stuff because I have other people who hunt that like are out here breaking their screens to find out where I'm at if I kill ducks. So, like Sam took a picture yesterday and posted it on Instagram, and somebody had texted him. Yeah. Well, no, he didn't post something like that. He posted it and like he kind of hid the background a little bit, but he posted it and somebody was like, "Oh, you're here, I can see." I'm like, tell him we weren't. Like we're under a tree. There's 1,000 trees out there. Tell him we weren't there.
Yeah.
Like
there's trees and toolies everywhere.
Yeah,
bro. We're
exactly. But Sam's like, now if you want to hunt that, like he's gonna be there every day. I'm like, he can have it. That's the first time I've been out there this year, and I go in there and I beat him up. Like, cool, you can have it. I've got plenty of other spots. I beat up my pockets more than anything with how many shells we shot. But yeah, we're at 2 hours and 5 minutes. That was a long one.
Jesus, yeah.
Our Patreon one last week was a long one too. I don't know why these 2 hour ones have been going by quick. We get to talking about something, we just talk about it for like 30, 45 minutes, and it's like, oh crap, like we got some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, another good one. 3 Dr. Peppers deep.
Disgusting.
Put them down. Shout out to my mom. My mom is the reason for that. She can go through a 36-pack of Dr. Peppers in a week.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's so good for you.
Wake up, cup of coffee, smoke a cigarette. Hour later, Dr. Pepper and a cigarette.
Yeah, dude, it's 12:30 and you've had 4 sodas. So yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited. We got Christmas coming up. We have our first Christmas tonight.
Yeah.
So
that's terrible.
Yeah, a week early, 9 days early. But we have to just because we got some family going out of state on Joey's side, so we're doing our Christmas early.
Dude, Sydney has to work on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
They put her friggin' 10 to 5, and she was like, can I get off earlier than that? I'm literally the only person that works here that has kids.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, and then I've got 2 hunts before. I'm hunting Wednesday and then Saturday. Not hunting Sunday because we're taking family pictures, which I've also got a Christmas Saturday night. And then we've got Christmas Monday for our family. And then
Santa comes Sunday night in my house.
Yeah, Joey's dad's side wants to do something Christmas Eve too. I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but they want to do something Christmas Eve.
We're going back to your grandma's on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
She's going to be alone.
Yeah, that sucks, man. But then the day after Christmas, we're going to go up and we're not going to have Christmas with my dad, but we're going to go on a Christmas duck hunt. So that'll be dope. We rented a rice blind up there, so that'll be fun. My dad hasn't hunted all year yet, so he'll get to get out and
that's nice.
Shoot his gun a little bit, have some fun with me and Johnny. We haven't hunted the 3 of us in probably about 10 years.
Jesus.
It's been a long time. Just the 3 of us, so.
Yeah, well, the fool can't walk, so.
Yeah.
He can walk, but
yeah.
not through a pond.
He's got a half a mile walk to the blind, but I was like, it's not bad, bro. Half a mile. You can make that in an hour. No, so that'll be fun. We'll have a good time. Hopefully we get a little bit of weather to help us out, but we'll see what happens. Oh,
I gotta check that.
But thank you guys.
I gotta check that because.
Is it a sports?
No, it was Instagram notifications. I was trying to see if somebody was sending me reels. Yeah, no, it was friggin' wedding Friday.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. But
yeah, so Patreon will still be out.
Yep.
Yeah. Subscribe to the Patreon if you can. It's only $5 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, the episodes
Thank you
are
guys.
fun.
Thank you guys for joining us on another episode. It's another long one. But
if you made it this far.
Yeah, if you made it this far, thank you. Don't forget, check out the Patreon. Like Andrew said, $5 a month. It's not that bad. $1 an episode, $1.25 an episode.
And it helps.
Yeah, it helps. It's gonna put a table in here. It's gonna make this place a lot better.
I bought a table and it's shitty. So.
It's way too small.
Yeah, it's way too small.
But peace, y'all.
Peace.